Welcome. So today I am doing the screencast for assignment 2, and I went ahead and chose option A. So for that, I found this story called Castle in the Clouds. The plan is to hand out a copy of this story. It's quite a few pages long, to every student. What I would do then is, as you can see, there are some highlighted words throughout the story. I would read the story aloud to them, and I would tell them to make sure to take notes. Let me find the bottom of this. There we go. To take notes of all these highlighted words, and to take special note of the sentences that these words are in. So the context clues. I would read this story aloud, and afterwards I would put the students in pairs. They would have a copy of the story. I would put them in pairs or groups of 3, and I would hand out either a pocketbook thesaurus or an actual, large regular size thesaurus, or even assign one person in every pair or group to either use their phone or their laptop or a computer to go to an online thesaurus if that's available. If one of the others isn't available, then hopefully the other one would be. If neither are available, obviously there would need to be another alternative solution for that. So they would have the thesaurus would be the best option that I would hope, is they have like a pocketbook thesaurus and they could use it. So in their pairs or their groups of 3, using the thesaurus, I would also hand out this worksheet. Hold on, let me think. I think it's down here. Yes. I would hand out this along with the thesaurus. I would tell them that I would give each pair or group a list, I would assign each group or pair a specific synonym from this list that I found, this list that I made, based on the words I found in the story. So each group pair would get their own. They would all get a different one. There should be enough here. If there isn't, obviously, we could always go back and add more. These are just some of the ones I found that I liked. I would have them use the thesaurus, use this bubble, the word that I assigned them, and to come up with synonyms for that word. So for instance, the word proper. They would put the word proper here, and then synonyms, as many synonyms as they could come up with for the word proper. I would tell them that when they're done with this, that each group or pair will be presenting to the rest of the class. So make sure that they know it, and make sure they did good work, since they will be presenting. When it came time for them to present to the rest of the class, I would obviously write them this information on the board, or let the students write it on the board preferably, and then that way the other students could take note of this and learn these as well. I would then hand out, keeping the students in the pairs or groups of 3, I would then hand out this worksheet. Hang on, let me fix this a little better. No, I'm not sure. There we go. So this is going to be my sequencing worksheet. So I would hand this out, keeping the students in their pairs or groups. I would tell them to reread their story together, taking turns. And when they were all done, sorry, wrong one. Let me figure out where I'm at here. Here we go. Yeah, so reread the story together. Um, and when they were done, work together to fill this out. Now they would have with this, hold on, let me find, I would also hand out this work, these handouts. Hang on, let me find them. There we go, this one. So I would hand these sequencing words out with that, um, with this. And with this, I would tell them to use these words, and I think this one's my favorite. I really like this one because it's even like color coded. This one's definitely my favorite. But there's really some great words on here. So they would use these words, they would reread their story together, and then they would, they could choose one of two things. They could either draw a picture for each event, or if they, like me, have absolutely zero artistic ability, they could write a sentence of what happened, like a phrase. Um, and however, right here, no matter what they choose, right here, they have to use one of these sequencing words, and they have to use, obviously, the correct ones. I don't want that first box, and I would explain all this, obviously. I don't want this first box to have a word like, and they lived happily ever after, right? Or at the end, or in the end. So that would obviously be covered. So they would do that. They would work together and complete that. Then they would check their work. They could walk around. I would allow them a little bit of time to walk around the class and check their work with other students, other groups. Then I would have them get back in their pairs, or their groups of three, and I would hand out this handout. This is going to be for the summarization, and I would have them pair up with, so either the group of three or the pair would join another pair or group of three. So then there's more. It's not just the two of them anymore. So I would do that, and so as groups of either 4 or 6 would be the max, preferably groups of 4 or 5, I would have them complete this. So I'd only need to hand out maybe 2 per group in case they messed up. But they would complete this, and this would be the summary of the story. They could use, and I would in fact advise them to use this, this sheet that they had completed to help them do the summary, so they don't have to keep going back and reading the entire, I think 10-page story is what it was. And then at the end, when they're all done, the groups would stand up and present it to the rest of the class, tell it to the rest of the class. If they have pictures, then obviously we could put that on the overhead or the board or whatever, and show them while they're reading the story, or show them the pictures while they're reading the story. And so that, I feel like the way that this activity was laid out, hopefully, I'm not going to lie, I struggled with this. I think I changed it about 10 times, but I'm hoping that it built on each other. They heard the story read once by me. They took note of the words, and these are some words that I'm hoping that they don't know or they're not very familiar with, so that builds on their vocabulary as well. So they do that. Then they get a chance to read it together, in their pairs. They have the ability to learn these synonyms, okay, with the activity, with the words, and then this synonym bubble. And then when they stand up and they present it, that gives them some speaking skills, some speaking practice. And it teaches, instead of them having to look up this entire list and learn this entire list of probably new vocabulary words, They do one, and then they get to just watch the others present. Um, then the sequencing. So then they get to practice, using the sequencing words, and they get to kind of step into it by doing little tidbits, little I feel like bite-sized pieces, and then they go back and as a bigger group, it's hopefully more helpful. They get to do the summary. So I feel like it built on each other. I definitely tried. So yeah, that's it. So thank you.